honest and are feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh, right away, he lost the football. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the...
And Denver getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. That is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that
That's
answer.
cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He sets to fire deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs. In the top 5 in the NFL, it's all a mindset. And I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to go for a big play, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Here we go! What?
Throwing, Hundley. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Brad 38! Brad 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
They'll give it to him up the middle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go! White 90!
He'll get it up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. And they'll go on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now they try the right side here. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This drive is turning to an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47.
Here we go.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now they'll run it on the toss. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Let's go! White 90!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now with a play clock winding down, Vance Joseph says, let's talk this over. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. The Broncos on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
And they'll go on the ground. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. And just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Losing 4 yards. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Now Hundley finds Jake Butt over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to...
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Let's go. What?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go. He's got him in, complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for the Broncos on 3rd. And even 50 yards. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll drop the throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
The Broncos on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now they'll run on the draw. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Covington in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. DJ Reader in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. They're going to try and throw. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go! Brand 38!
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that's going to make it 4th down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got a man at Sutton that's complete. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
We know it's tough enough to pick up 1st downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go! What? 90! What? 90!
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the...
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
What? 90!
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This will go for 5 up to the 33. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible. To have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
He'll drop to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Looking to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Cut.
And they'll go on the ground. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Hundley now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the...
And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Let's go! Try 38!
He'll look to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Come on, let's go! Try 38!
They'll look to throw. Going up top. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to...
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Denver, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as